You know, Moses had this pattern of going to the mountain to meet with God. And we actually came to Glen Erie our first year in 1998. We didn't know what we were doing, but what we wanted, the dream was to have a transformative, life-changing experience on the mountain. And it sounds kind of syrupy, but I believe it. We prayed for God to meet us here every year for 26 years.
We, yes, take courses and hear from amazing speakers, from individuals that are working in high executive roles, all the way to individuals that have created amazing social impact organizations. But we have this opportunity to join together in community with team building activities, with a lot of interaction over meals. We get the opportunity to take hikes. We love the time that we have for reflection with our students.
We're always praying about who God wants our students to get exposed to. And so every speaker has touched on something different, but there's been a theme that has come through. Themes like courage, themes like God wants you to take a step. Are you bold enough to do it? Do you have the confidence to do it? But being able to act even when you don't necessarily think you can do it. I think everyone's touched on that, but it's been from different industries, different backgrounds, different ages. And so that's been the beautiful thing, just like seeing it weave through. And it's different, but it's also a key theme.
There's a lot of spiritual disciplines that some of these summit speakers have been bringing to us and kind of sharing with us how they have been able to stay disciplined spiritually, or how they have been able to stay close to God in challenging times, especially in their careers. Once you reach a level of, progress or success or whatever you want to call it, what are some of the things that these industry leaders are doing to make sure that, hey, as much as my business or career is becoming healthy, I need my relationship with God to be on that level and even more.
I think Summit is an incredibly interesting combination of both spiritual challenge and intellectual and business challenge. It is the place where you really have to figure out, how are you going to bring who you are as a leader, your perspectives, your opinions, your beliefs, into a space where you can also hold your faith tightly and at the core. Learning that skill set, that is what the Leadership Summit is all about.
Most students are surprised because they come here thinking, this is going to be finance, accounting, I'm going to be learning all these business things. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But they hear from business people or leaders of organizations, but they hear about stories. And stories are what resonate. Stories of maybe it's a mistake or a failure. Stories when they didn't think they could do it, but they triumphed and they took their organization to the next level. And it's really a priceless thing. Most business people don't even get an opportunity to be mentored at that level.
We're climbing this mountain. We're trying to pursue Christ. And at the same time, Christ is coming to us and he's meeting us in our brokenness. I didn't realize just how broken I was before coming here. And that's something that has really, God has really shown to me. But that's the good news, is God's grace and mercy. He meets us every day where we're at. I think that's what Summit is about. It's so much more than just business and leadership. It is preparing us for the rest of our life.
I am confident in my faith, but I think it's changed me to where now I know so much more in depth that I didn't know before, from my mentors, from the speakers and all the things that they've been through. Everyone's testimony, it's so powerful, it's so impactful, and that no matter what you go through, God's faithful. He's always going to be there. He's always going to lead you. He's going to guide you.
We want students to feel that their faith is one of the most important aspects of leadership, whether that be in the workplace, in the home, or in the church. Everybody goes to work, even though not everybody goes to church. And so it's really important at Leadership Summit for the future that we continue to build up strong leaders that are going into the workplace so that they're able to continue to shine their light for Jesus.
A lot of people are rushing from one thing to the next, and they're not taking the time to really just slow down and be still. And so I would say that Summit is just an incredible opportunity for students to slow down, to really tune in to what the Lord has for them and to just stop and listen. You know, a lot of times we're rushing from one thing to the next, and coming to Summit, coming to Colorado is a great way to unplug and to challenge yourself in a way that maybe you didn't ever expect you could.
I think it's important for every student of ACU to consider that if they are truly mission-based, if they truly believe that their role in the world is to go out and have an impact for good, then coming here and learning the tools of how to do that is incredibly important.